Good morning, Bande Matram. Welcome, all of you. So, on this glorious evening, we are going to discuss a beautiful topic that is on surrender. Of course, the caption will be the surrender must necessarily be progressive. So, this is the topic of discussion for this morning. This is actually rain kissed morning. Everywhere you see there is overclouded. Anytime you are expecting something will burst upon. So it will rain down immediately at any moment because you can expect a heavy rain. Of course, this is a rain kissed earth is awaiting to listen the great topic that is on surrender. The caption of the topic is surrender must necessarily be progressive. So on this topic we are going to discuss from Mother and Sri Aurobindo, and this beautifully it has been sketched upon. Mother and Master, they have they have gone into a big way, in a venturous way. So we will try to just quote few lines from their writings in brief. First we'll start with Mother. The path is long, Mother quotes, but self-surrender makes it short. Different types of surrender we'll see while progressing in our path. So one of this actually this is self-surrender. So road is path is long. Path means not necessarily the physical path which we are seeing on the way. This is the Grand Trunk Road, which actually clearly before us, or every day we keep preparing or we keep building the big paths on the way, but that is not the path really it is traced upon. The path is long, but the self surrender makes it short. This is the yogic path Sri Aurobindo quotes upon. So the way is difficult. Again, the way nobody knows, it is difficult. Naturally there is no royal road made to reach the destiny, because our destiny is only divine. There is no royal road is prepared, so it is actually difficult road. And but perfect trust makes it easy. Trust and of course perfect trust makes it easy, because the road is difficult, or the way is difficult. We know here in the quotes about the path, although the path is the same, but everything depends upon the nature and the personality of the server. And of course, Sri has quoted so far when describing about the integral yoga, this path. Sri quoted you may find yourself in anguish, alone in the anguish and ambush. And the second, the gods above are unwilling, and the demons on the front, they will be furious, like son of Arjuna, that the great Abhimanyu was facing during the battlefield while he was entering the Chakravyuha. The great warriors were there, all seven. They tried to kill, breaking all the rules and regulations that was fixed before the war by the great warrior, the great Bhishma Pitamaha. So you will, but the perfect trust, yes, it will be, because I am the divine with us. To surrender to the divine is to renounce all narrow limits. We have got our limitation, not only limits, these are called by Mother so-called narrow limits. That has to be renounced. Without renouncing it, nothing is possible. And let yourself be invaded by it when it is coming. That invasion will be there. Let it be invaded by it, and make a center for its play. It has to come down. We must have a place. We must open the door. We must initially we must be prepared. We must call it. It will come. Then will be open the door. It has to come down. It has to work, and we have to surrender near the great force. Simply as a witness, we have to observe what is really going on, and then this force will come. We will, as a witness soul, we will be witnessing and observing the things. So it will be invaded by it and made a center for its play. Without the base, how the index will stand? So we have to create a base for it. Again, surrender, where really the surrender means the decision to hand over the responsibility of your life to the divine. That is what surrender. To hand over the responsibility, decision to hand over the responsibility of the life to the divine, not to any other. So first of all, we have to take the decision, and we have to know who is the divine, or otherwise this human force or something, we are actually confused. we are surrendering and getting the bad result. This is done either through the mind or in the emotion or life impulse or through all of them together. Three methods actually Sri Aurobindo quotes upon here. This is done either through the mind or emotion or life impulses or mind, vital or physical or through all together at a time. So this is the scenario we have seen. Again, here in the course, mother course, of course, detailed surrender, everything in detail. Means the surrender of all details of the life, entire whatever the story, in detail, it has to be surrendered to the divine, nothing to be kept secret or we have to be kept hidden. So even the smallest and the most insignificant appearance that has to be surrendered. And this means remember the divine in all circumstances. That is the pre-condition, that is the initial condition, because in integral ego we know our purpose is the highest, the all the widest, that is the divine. He is the beginning, he is the middle, he is the end. Everywhere, wherever you see, that is the divine. Under all circumstances, we have to remember him. Remember the divine. Whatever we think, feel, or do, whatever we think, feel, or do, triple action, we must do it for him in as a way of coming close to him. We must do everything for him. The purpose is to close to him. We will approach him at the to the closest. And to be more and more what he wants us to be, what he wants to us to be, that also we have to accept without any minimum hesitation, the minimal hesitation that is not required because it is hindering. Because divine decision is final, nothing depends upon us. Again, capable of manifesting his will in the perfect sincerity, capable sincerity and purity. Both things will come, perfect sincerity and purity. No, for what? Actually, to become manifesting his will with perfect sincerity and purity, that will come by two purposes. Mind has to be fully pure and purified, and the psychic has to be prominent, so that this purification, sincerity, and this manifestation will be possible. To be the instrument of his love, that is what? To be instrument of his love, we have to be prepared and we have to surrender. But with that only the things will be changed. So what we have to do really, this we have to remember him. We must decide to surrender everything at his at the near the divine. Remember the divine under all circumstances. We must think, do, feel, we must have it for him only, the way of come, because the purpose is to coming close to him and be more and more what he wants us to do, not what I want. Let thy will be done, not mine. And again, capable of manifesting his will with perfect sincerity and path. Again, the instrument, dynamic instrument of his love that has to be prepared. That preparation should be there, and we must stay prepared. Again, another surrender, mother quotes, that is true surrender enlarges you. It increases the capacity. True surrender enlarges you. If this surrender is true, you feel that I truly and truthfully we have surrendered. Naturally, the experience will be in us that we are enlarged and increased. Your capacity is increased. Gives the greater measure in quality and quantity. Not only in quality, also in quantity, you will find a greater knowledge which you would not leave, have had, which you could not have had yourself. Suppose you are doing up something of your own, naturally you will not feel. That is the criteria. But if it is with the divine, with the surrender, naturally your feelings will be great. Again, we will quote beautifully to the mother in her description on the surrender, self-suffering, and the humility. Mother has quoted beautifully. There are actually two paths. One is ardent path, that is tapasya. Second is actually surrender. Tapasya, the road is difficult. Nobody knows what is the percentage of your success, because as it depends upon your capability, your efficiency, and your progress towards the consciousness. With what consciousness you have to do, because you ascend and achieve according to your own force. And there is always a danger of falling down. There is a chance you will fall down and break your organs, and there is hardly any remedy. And once you fall and you break your organs and all, so it will be difficult for the second time to rise up and to attempt again. So again, what have to be done? You must not. You must be. They have been taught to fear and avoid all the threats and personal independences. So second is the path of surrender. When you yourself give completely without reservation, so that all in you shall belong to the Divine Mother. Nothing be left to the ego or any other power to utilize it. So be 100% prepared in mentally, vitally, physically, and in psychically to give yourself completely to surrender. That is the best process. And of course, Mother Course Ramakrishna Paramahansa. That a big example already. Most often we actually quote here and there in our different virtual classes or in reality. Like the kid, baby cat and the baby monkey. Monkey, in case what he does, this baby actually catches the mother. So, and in case of the cat, is in cat, the mother cat actually takes catches its own baby. So there is a possibility in the first case, in monkey and its baby, that if the grip is loosened, then naturally there is a chance of falling down. There is a danger. But here in the second case where really we find mother cat is catching its baby. So very limited chance of falling down. It is there. So just imagine first one monkey case, it is actually own effort, that is tapasya, and the second one we are going, that is the case of our own surrender, path of surrender. Again, mother quotes beautifully, that is the point of the surrender, the decision to hand over the responsibility to the divine. That without the decision nothing can be done. If you can be able to take the decision to surrender, nothing positive can come. In yoga, entirely out of question. Without surrender, this yoga, practice of this yoga, success in the yoga is next to impossible, out of question. Everything comes naturally after it. First surrender, everything others follow. While the process starts and with the surrender, you can surrender through in two ways, through knowledge or through devotion. So Jnana Marga and Bhakti Marga, you can surrender in two ways, through knowledge and through devotion. You may have a strong intuition in the divine alone, and is the truth, and the luminous conviction that without the divine nothing can be done. You can manage nothing. So divine, everything is there. It is there. So you have to spontaneous feeling. What will be, how will be your expression? I don't belong to myself. That is the initial quote. I don't belong to myself. Give out the responsibility to your being the truth. Then comes the self-offering. I don't belong to myself. I belong to the divine. Then comes the self-suffering. Here I am, a creature of various qualities, good and bad, again, darkness and enlightened. I offer myself, I am to you, as I am to you. Take me up with all the ups and downs, conflicting impulses and tendencies. Do whatever you like. I am here. I am here to give myself to you. You take me and do whatever and how is useful, needful to you, how you want to utilize. You utilize. I don't have any absolutely no problem with. I don't have, let thy will be done, nothing depends upon me. This attitude, यही चाहिए, ये करना ही चाहिए. This is the most required condition. Again, we will quote few lines from Sri Aurobindo. Surrender must necessarily be progressive. Progress to progressive, it will be time consuming. Anyway, it will be done. Anyway, surrender is a thing not done in a day. It is a time consuming process. It will be there. So don't get immediately and whimsically you have surrendered. No, nothing like this. But think it is not done in a day. It must be progressive. The core of surrender, inner surrender, is a trust and confidence in the divine. Here, here in the course about the inner surrender. If there is no surrender, no transformation of the whole being entirely. And who to whom will surrender? Mother, Sri Aurobindo has quoted, new creation and transformation is the work of the mother. So naturally, you have to surrender at the feet of the Divine Mother. Make your surrender true and complete. Then only all will else be done for you. Not only surrender come by love, and love also come by surrender. This is a reversible process. For most to grow through tapasya into surrender, they feel. But initially it is possible because Mother is with us. We know we can have the surrender. Then surrender one direction makes others easy or successful. So there is no chance but surrender.